Hello and welcome to From Practice to Placement, your go-to resource for GPs and clinic leaders who are navigating careers and recruitment in Australia. I am your host, Gemma Goff, a former award-winning practice manager turned GP recruiter. We dive into real talk, expert tips and everything you need to build a thriving career or general practice here in Australia. So let's get started.
Hello everyone, it's Gemma here. Welcome to From Practice to Placement. This morning you are joining me on my walk down on the lovely Port Noarlunga Beach in South Australia. Midwinter, absolutely beautiful. Nobody here, just me and you. So welcome. I thought I'd do a little video today about my journey, how I became a GP practice manager, practice leader, and how I transitioned into recruitment. So 8 years ago, hubby and I were enjoying a lovely family Christmas and decided that we would like to look at options to raise our children in a place where there was more opportunity. So Guernsey is the most beautiful island, absolutely stunning. For those of you who don't know, it's actually between the south coast of the UK and France, closer to France. It's absolutely beautiful, but it's a very small island. It only has a population of about 66,000, and to experience anything different, you have to travel to the mainland and onwards. So we wanted to give them an opportunity to try new things. So we both agreed that wherever we would find work, whether it was America, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, we would take the opportunity, embrace it, jump in with both feet. So that new year, I jumped on Seek and applied for jobs in practice leadership. Now, I chose that because I had over a decade of experience as a leader in specialist centre. So I was a manager in a obstetric, gynecology and paediatric department, and so I had the healthcare experience. I loved my job. I really did love it. It was amazing. Great people, and I wanted to stay within that industry essentially. So I was fortunate to get an interview to run 2 general practice clinics in Adelaide. And so middle of the night interviews because of the time difference, and a few interviews in and I was offered the job. Came with a visa, so it supported my whole family, and we decided to take it. Now the crazy thing is, well, people told us we were crazy, is we'd never visited Australia before, ever. We didn't know anybody in Adelaide, and so this was going to be a completely new experience. So we packed up everything, applied for our visas, packed up absolutely everything that we owned, sold everything we owned, cars, property. We left property, all our belongings, and just packed up. Now one day we were transitioning into like holiday accommodation to see out the final few weeks, and at this point we still didn't have our visas. We were just really optimistic and had absolute faith that we would our visas would be approved, and people thought we were crazy, absolutely crazy. Why would you sell all of your belongings when you haven't even got your visas approved? So literally the day we were moving out of the house, we got a call from our migration agent, and she said, "How long do you have your holiday accommodation for?" And I said, well, at the moment it's about 2 weeks, but we'll keep extending as we need to. And she said, "You don't need to extend, your visas have been approved." Well, I jumped up, I cried, I spilled tea all over the bed. The children wanted to know what was going on. "Dad, why is mummy crying?" He said, "I think our visas just got approved." It was just the most crazy moment, and a realization that life was about to change. So fast forward a few weeks, we had resigned from our jobs, we had leaving parties, and sold our cars and all those last little little bits before we headed to the mainland UK to say bye to family there, and then flew out to Adelaide. Now, when we left Adelaide, the UK, we actually had nowhere to stay in Australia. So we got on a plane with nowhere to live when we got this side. But again, we had absolute faith it was going to be fine. And so my new employer had arranged for us to spend a couple of days in a caravan park. Now, it was during school holidays. There was literally nowhere else that we could have stayed, but the caravan park was amazing. It was so much fun. The children had a blast, and we got to Abu Dhabi, so partway through our journey down under, and I had an email from the agent that we were using, and she said they'd managed to find an Airbnb that we could have for a month. Such a relief. So okay, we had a home for a month, then we would need to find somewhere else. So arrived in Adelaide, visited the clinics that I would be running, and one of them was newly built, absolutely beautiful clinic in Seaford Meadows, really state of the art. So much thought went into the practice, how the practice was built. It was, really quite something special. And the other facility was an old house that had previously gone some renovations, but it was actually going to start further renovations. It was basically being like doubled or tripled in size. It was huge. It was going to be really, really big. And so they needed somebody to run both clinics, grow the clinical team, the non-clinical team, and just oversee the exponential growth they knew was coming to the community. And this was all based on data from the council, the local council. So started the job, absolutely loved it. Spent 7 years working in the practices, and saw the practices through the pandemic, which obviously was a very stressful time for all of us. And I had the most amazing team around me. I say all the time in leadership that you can't do these things alone. Like, you need your soldiers, you need your army. And I had the most amazing humans that supported me through the pandemic and my whole leadership time, in fact. It was, really quite an amazing experience. So during that time in practice leadership, I studied for my practice leadership qualifications. I was awarded the Barbara Meredith Award, which was an absolute honour. It's an award for excellence in the submissions for the studies. So I was very, very proud to have that. I was also nominated for South Australia Northern Territory Practice Manager of the Year by my peers, and that was just mind-blowing that they thought me worthy of such a prestigious award. So I've had much success in leadership in healthcare, and it's been an absolute joy to lead the most amazing team of people, the next generation of leaders. And I left the clinics to pursue a career in GP recruitment, and I know that I've left the clinics in the most capable hands. They're the most fabulous people running the clinic, so I'm so lucky. So how did I end up in GP recruitment? Well, through the pandemic, as I say, I had to work very closely with our leadership team and help them to grow themselves and to run the clinic, so that I could be more of an overseer as opposed to a day-to-day operations manager. So once the pandemic had started to settle and become more day-to-day, I realised I had the opportunity and time to focus on recruitment for the practices. We had these 2 amazing new facilities, lots of vacant rooms, and so it was all systems go to recruit GPs. So for the next year, 18 months, I recruited well over a dozen. I genuinely lose count of how many amazing GPs from the UK, Hong Kong, Bangladesh, Iran, like literally all over the world, that we recruited to come and join our clinic. And it was fantastic. It was so amazing. And they're the most loyal loyal doctors I've ever worked with. They're just incredible. We spent so much time making sure that the doctors that we recruited were a really good fit for the practice. Bums on seats is just not something I'm comfortable with. It has to be a culture fit, it has to be a values fit. And we worked hard to make sure that was the case, and planned for attrition. We had GPs booked to come in over the coming years. Not everybody was coming at once. So as the community grew, we were able to bring in the doctors to support their needs. So I realised that we were onto something. Building sustainable recruitment plans was a really smart idea, and we put systems in place and processes in place and created these plans, and which included induction timetables and ways to orientate the whole family into Australian life, how to encourage the doctors to do billings to make themselves a really lucrative income without having to work the most ridiculous hours, get them some of their family time back. So lots and lots has gone into that, and now I took an opportunity to transition out of the clinic and work full-time in recruitment, and that meant I could support other practice leaders, other practice owners to do what we've done in the clinics, and it's been such a joy to teach other clinic leaders about leadership, how to encourage their established GPs to take on roles as supervisors, to bring in international medical graduates who require level 1 supervision. Those that thought this was going to be a nightmare actually realise what value they are, that it's not so time consuming, it's not such hard work, and that they're a real asset to teams, and that bit's been an absolute joy. I'm supporting so many wonderful UK doctors, UK trained doctors that have been in practice for years, practice owners that have just realised that life has just passed them by, that they've missed so many opportunities with their children, that they just want to get some quality of life back. And so I've supported them to find the most amazing practices here in Australia to join nationwide. And so many UK GPs recently that have been completing their training and not really sure what to do next. But the UK is a bit of a funny space at the moment. They're not guaranteed they're going to get jobs at the end of their training. It's really uncertain. So those that have even got a year, 18 months left on their training are reaching out to me saying, Gem, what are my options? What should I do? And we just talk. What are your motivations? What are you looking for in your career? And all sorts of things. So yeah, the GP recruitment has been, the pandemic oddly, I don't want to say forced me into GP recruitment because that's not what happened, but it was sort of the catalyst, I guess, for this shift in career, and I'm so grateful for that, because I'm having so much fun with recruitment, with practice leadership, guidance in not just the recruitment space but the whole induction and the orientation and retention, and there's just so much that goes into recruitment, and it's been such a pleasure, such a joy to help practice leaders with that. So yeah, that's my journey. So we've been here for 8 years. As you can see, these beaches are just absolutely stunning, and this is the middle of winter, so nice. Imagine in the summer. Family is settled, hubby's working full time, the children have both finished school now, they've both got full-time jobs, independent, enjoying life, and have taken all of those opportunities that we wanted them to embrace here in Australia, from kayaking and paddleboarding and all sorts out on these amazing waters, camping, bush camping, drift racing. My sons have represented clubs and the state in sports. It's been so much fun. It's been absolutely so much fun, and I would encourage anybody that is considering a move. There's absolutely no pressure to take things any further, but reach out. Let's have a chat. talk about motivations, talk about what you're looking to achieve with a life down under, and let's see how I can help you. And if you're a practice leader and you're overwhelmed with recruitment, because gosh, it's a minefield, so much legislation, so much red tape, like if you don't know where to start, would like to talk about sustainable recruitment plans to grow your teams for the future, manage growth, manage attrition, want to talk about orientation timetables, induction timetables, letters of offer, what does an offer pack look like, you know, market insights, anything at all to do with recruitment, leadership, reach out. I'm more than happy to help you. It would be an absolute pleasure. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe a little bit ranting, sorry about the panting. Walking on the sand is quite hard and talking, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And if you have any questions or want to reach out, you can catch me on LinkedIn. So follow me on LinkedIn, Gemma Goff, and like and subscribe this channel so you can get notified on other videos that I post. So thanks everyone, have a great day. Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of From Practice to Placement. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an update. I'd love to connect with you. You can find me on LinkedIn at Gemma Goff. Follow my page and subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter for regular insights into GP recruitment, relocation and sustainable workforce planning. Whether you're a GP exploring your next move or a clinic leader building your team, I'm here and happy to help.